Welcome to Bread Making with Doug. Today we're going to try something that's called a batter bread with some dill seasoning in it. So we're going to call this dill batter bread. I'll put the exact ingredients and measurements and recipe on the website along with this. Okay, we're going to start with some flour. We're going to take our dry ingredients and mix those together. So we have some unbleached all-purpose white. We're going to add in some sugar, some yeast, salt, some dill weed. Those are our dry ingredients. We're going to mix those together. And then we have some liquid ingredients that we're going to mix together on the stove in a saucepan. We're going to warm those up. Okay, looks like our dry ingredients are good. We're going to go over to the stove. In a saucepan, we're going to add water, milk, and oil. That will be heating to about 120 degrees. We do have an egg, but we're going to add that after we've blended this in with the dry ingredients. Then we'll add the egg and we will beat it a little bit longer. So this is going to go on to the stove to be heated up to 120. We've heated our milk, oil, and water mixture up to this wind. It needs to be somewhere between 120 and 130. We're registering about 128, 129. That should be good. We're going to add that to our dry. Switch hands here. We're adding that to our dry. And we're going to mix that for 2 minutes, medium speed. I have learned with my KitchenAid mixer to be sure that I don't just have totally dry ingredients because it tends to fluff out everywhere and make a big mess. So we'll do a preliminary mix and then let the mixer do the rest for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's time to add the egg. And go for another 2 minutes. What we've got is a pretty sticky, stiff dough. What we're going to do now is cover this and let this rise. Again, you can see it's well blended, but it's definitely a stiff, sticky dough. Okay, we're going to cover this, let it rise till doubled, which should be about an hour. I happen to have a bread proof setting on my stove, my oven. and I'm going to put it on that. That usually means about 95 degrees. Probably won't take an entire hour. This doubles up pretty fast. I cover it. I generally use a glass plate. Save on the plastic wrap. We'll be back after this is done its basic rise. Okay, as you can see, we've taken our dough out of the warm oven. It's definitely doubled in size. We're going to stir this down and put it into a greased baking dish. That's going to go in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes at 375. And once we take it out, we're going to coat it with some melted butter and a little bit of kosher salt. So let's see if we can get this to play nice. While it was doubling, it gave me just enough time to wash the dishes and finish my second cup of coffee. This is a little different from the other breads that we do that I've shown you, in that we're not going to be kneading this. We've simply mixed it. It had so much yeast in it. It's rising nicely. You know, you're concerned about gluten to help hold the shape, but in this case, it's what we call a batter bread, and it does not get the kneading. But as you can see, it's sticky. I'm just going to try to get it to shape around. Nice. While we're waiting for our oven to preheat, I'm going to cut a slice of some bread that I did yesterday. This was a buttermilk sourdough that I baked. It looks awesome. So I'm going to just cut off a heel of that to check for lunch today. Looks good. It has a nice soft crumb. Got a definite crust to it. Ooh, this is going to make nice sandwich bread or toast with some butter on it. Should be nice. So that's my buttermilk sourdough. I've posted a video about that on the website too. Wow, okay. I took it out of the oven at 45 minutes. Again, you need to be sure and check your timing on this. Maybe check at 40 minutes to be sure it's not going to brown too much. This does get a nice browned top to it. I'm going to just tilt it to the side so you can see. Clearly it came up and over the rim, which is fine. It was a nice rise. We were maybe about a half inch below the rim of the dish before this. Now what we're going to do to finish it off, it's got to sit here and cool a bit, maybe about 10 minutes before we transfer it over to a wire rack. But in the meantime, and this was easy to do, melt about 2 tablespoons, I mean 2 teaspoons, tablespoon to 2 teaspoons of butter. That was easy because I could just put it on the top of the stove and it melted nicely while this was baking. So you want to go ahead and generously coat your crust. And then we're going to sprinkle some kosher salt or coarse sea salt on the butter. Love it. Love it. And there you have it. Like I said, we'll let it cool about 10 minutes in the pan, and then we'll transfer this out onto a wire rack to let it finish cooling. You really want to let it cool all the way before slicing it. And that is your dill batter bread. Once it cools, I'll try and do a slice. Taking it with friends. We're going to go over to a local brewery to celebrate a birthday, but I will try. I'm going to take this with us, but I'll try and save a slice to show you. Thanks for watching. There's lots more on the channel, so have a look and try your best.